Coming up on Empower with Tristan Canfor-Dumas.
Bro, and see, that's another thing about SRT. Like, you have to do it and feel again. And through your feeling, you learn. And the thing is that the world is wicked. Like, the moment you don't live up to that expectation, like losing, that's what I'm saying. Losing is not normalized. I mean, you hear this all the time. It's either the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And I think a lot of people don't know this, but yeah, when I left, I'm being a bit vulnerable here, but when I left, like Charlie, I cried. And I'm not someone who just like cries for no reason. So I remember that very evening, like I cried. I was like, Charlie, Jesus, like what are you?
How?
I was just like, how? Because it was like people literally are telling you congratulations, but on the day something happened.
Hello. Welcome. My name is Tristan Canfor-Dumas, and I'm here to empower you to elevate your lives. Today, I'm joined here with my broski, Kelden. We're going to have, a conversation. We're going to talk about a lot of things. It's going to be a very interesting conversation. So just sit back, relax, enjoy, but most importantly, take notes. So, Kelden. Yeah, you'd mind introducing yourself for the channel, the family?
Yeah, so my name is Kelden Fuachie. I'm 17 and I'm also Tristan's friend. We go to the same school together and we actually just graduated, so yeah, cheers to that.
Yeah. So Kelden, how was your day today?
Oh, my day was very calm. I wasn't even supposed to like come here, but I just decided to pull up, and here I'm like recording a podcast. So it's just chill and it's just vibes. So yeah, but it was a good day. How about yours as well?
It was alright. It was okay.
Cool.
It was alright.
Yeah.
What you eat today?
Oh, some light skin cake.
How was it?
Yeah, well, it was banging, Charlie.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, Kelden and I, we've been friends for a very long time.
Yeah.
This was even before we went to SOS. It's been a very long journey, and
like 5 years. Yeah.
For 5 years, where it started and all of that. And I mean, there's a lot of stories that we have between us.
Yeah.
And so I'm just gonna share a few a few of those stories. So I mean, I just want to take us back to the time when we first met. The time we first met at classes.
Yeah.
And this was
so. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, there was some classes before we wrote our entrance exam to SOS, and yeah, that's why I first met Tristan. And my first impression of him was like, oh, he was a chill dude. Like, he always like kept to himself. And I think the first real interaction I had with him was like one day I was stranded from classes. I didn't have anywhere to go, and they offered to drop me at Palace and for me to order a taxi from there. So yeah, that was like the first time I really got to interact with Tristan.
Yeah, what year was that? That was like
2019.
2019.
Yeah,
That was some time ago.
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of things have
happened. Yeah.
happened since then. We've both gone on to do a very, we've got to do very interesting things.
Yeah.
And I mean, one of the things I want to take us to, first of all, you see, meeting me, I know me in classes and me in school.
Yeah, crazy.
There are differences in all these things,
even
right?
in school car, there was a time.
Hey. So, yeah, before that, so I just want to talk about what's it called? That whole journey. I want to go into that journey of how your experience has been going throughout high school, and what are some of the biggest lessons that you have learned in high school, and if you would like to even add maybe some anecdotes to back.
Hey, anecdotes. I didn't prepare for that. So.
Just to back up the lessons. So I mean, yeah, what's the biggest lesson you've learned?
The biggest lesson.
Yeah, biggest lesson.
For me, I think the biggest lesson, like for me, in my whole like 4 to 5 years in high school, I'll say it's like trusting in God's timing. And I say that because in high school, I mean, being so young, like we have our own perception of time, perception of how things should go. Yeah, I want this, I want that, I have these goals. Charlie, by this time I should be doing this. Yeah, it's crazy. But I think the biggest lesson, like I mentioned before, is to trust in God's timing.
Yeah. God's
So that's
time.
that's my biggest lesson.
Has there been any situation where God has forced you to trust in His timing?
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's actually a story that I wanted to share, and this was, I think this was it last?
Last 2 years,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it was like last 2 years,
or even 3 now, almost getting to
almost 3. Yeah, this was the story. So if you guys, for those who didn't know, this is actually our ex SRC president. He was the main man who was controlling campus in terms of the student representative council. He was in charge of basically making sure that the students are ahead.
Yeah.
And for those of you also don't know, I was also the head boy of that same year. So between the two of us, there's a lot of leadership, a lot of leadership that's gone on, a lot of leadership experience that we've had the pleasure to experience. And I mean, that whole journey getting to that point.
Yeah.
I mean, before we even got to being the head boy and being the president, we were
Long way.
monitor and then aspiring candidates. But even before then, there was the senior on duty.
Senior on duty.
So
I
for
remember
those
times.
who don't know, if I explain what senior on duty is, could you mind explaining?
Yeah,
it?
so senior on duty. So when you are in MYP 5 or like your second year of high school, and SOS is 4 years before you graduate, you kind of not MYP 5. Sorry, when you're in DP 1, your last but 1 year, you go through an experience in your first semester called senior on duty, where it's like you're helping prefects with their roles. So for example, compartment, compound, dining hall, and stuff like that. So it's like kind of taking on their roles to also release the burden on them, because at that point they're in DP 2. So yeah, just helping them with that. So that's basically senior on duty.
Yep. And after the senior on duty, there's a time when they pick them the best
monitors,
ones.
the best
So
ones.
out of that, I mean, Kelden, you had some aspirations.
Yeah, big
at that
ones,
point
yeah.
in time, man. What were some of the aspirations that you had
Yeah.
before you get into all of this?
So I actually want to go back a bit. So I remember vividly when I was in MYP 4, I came to the school. I was this like shy guy. I never really came out of my room and stuff. And like, I don't know. I think that was just a period where I was trying to like figure out myself a bit. Like, I mean, I just came to this whole completely new environment. Like, just kind of find my feet a bit. And yeah, what I remember vividly was, I mean, you saw, we when we were in MYP 4, we saw our seniors as like an inspiration and stuff. So in my mind, I was thinking like, how can I really strive for that level of greatness or like these people are achieving? And I actually shut that idea down. Like, I thought like I could never be there. So I remember, funny enough, one time we had come for a break, and remember when we were in MYP 4, it was COVID time. So bro, we were in the school for 4 months at a time and stuff. So
no home.
when we finally came home, I remember talking to my parents. I was like, oh, like I think it was a random conversation. I remember vividly. I said, "Oh, I don't think I can become a prefect or a monitor in the school." And my parents were like, "Oh no, we see you as like a bright boy, so like you should go on and
can do it."
Yeah, I can do it. So I think from then my mindset changed. So like, I mean, that was, I think, MYP 4 summer. So get into MYP 5. So MYP 5, I was kind of more out there, going for club meetings, going here and there, just saying hi to people. Like, I felt like it was a good gesture to like try and get out there a bit. Yeah, and I remember just being more confident, and yeah, jumping to, even when we were still in MYP 5. I remember when I was roommates with one of Tristan's good friends. His name is called Papa. Yeah, and we're roommates, and Tristan was always like pushing us to go to the DO early, even though it wasn't senior on duty time. So we'd be going there. Like breakfast starts at 6:30 in the morning. But Tristan, he'll make us, like, you convince us to go there like even 5:40 when people are still sleeping and stuff, just to start our day, get our time alone. I mean, because we had roommates, sometimes you even struggle to have like maybe your quiet time or something. So or even plan your day out and stuff. So that was the whole essence of that. And we were consistent for some time. But Tristan, bro, he was there for months on months. And I mean, at the end of the day, the result should.
I mean, I think that period in time, that was the beginning. I'll say of our journey as leaders.
Yeah.
And I mean, the moments that was like that hits me, that really I was like, nah, this is God's timing. Working at his finest. Speaking of God's timing, was you getting the president, you winning that, and the fashion in which you won it. It was a big testimony. I mean, that whole story, even seeing it from afar, from a point of view, I remember like when the day came. So for those who don't know, they announced the monitors December. So when we go to school in August, so from August to December, that's when the
senior on duty.
That's the DP ones right here. So that's when the DP ones they are, you know, senior on duty. And then in December, then they announce the monitors. When the monitor time comes and they announce and it's not your name,
just feel down, bro. Speaking from experience,
it's painful. Me by God's grace, I don't know that experience, but I could see the effect it had on people, especially people who felt like they deserved it. It's not easy, and seeing someone like Kelden going through it.
So I actually just want to quickly share a story. So, so I mean, fast forward, senior on duty. So after coming in the morning and stuff, I mean, people started to notice us, and I even remember the head boy at the time was like, "Oh, he sees me as a future leader," and I took that as a compliment. So I just kept on pushing on. So I remember DP1 August, like when we're coming fresh semester. I remember that summer, Charlie. I just wanted to like level up, elevate, and kind of just get my stuff together. So I had plans for the semester. I mean, I was thinking of even like in MIP5, I was thinking of newsletters for the school, things I'll do to like kind of cement me getting. I wanted to be comportment prefect. So that's what I was vying for, and I mean, I just did everything possible. I planned it out, and during the semester things were going well. But I remember praying a prayer. I was like, if it's God's will for me to be comportment, He should let it be so. And I remember working hard, but with the newsletter thing, I remember like putting myself, like I kind of procrastinated a bit, even more than a bit, because like I was like, oh, I'll do this, but it never came. So I felt like, so I even remember like the day of the monitor announcement, bro. I was there. People were coming to me, telling me, Charlie, yeah, the comportment monitor is you interesting. So I was like, whoa. I was just excited, and I mean, I just gave thanks to God at that point. But I mean, game was over. So I had like we all went for the program, and Charlie, once did you mention my name, bro? It was just chaos. I remember I was even having a conversation with someone, and like I told them I'll like stay with them after the program. So after I congratulated some of my friends, bro, 20 seconds, I just got out of there.
You left?
Yeah, I left. So, and I think a lot of people don't know this, but yeah, when I left, I'm being a bit vulnerable here, but when I left, like Charlie, I cried, and I'm not someone who just like cries for no reason. So I remember that very evening, like I cried. I was like, Charlie, Jesus. Like what I used
How?
I was just like, how? Because it was like people literally are telling you congratulations, but on the day something happened. So I mean, it was normal, and but it really had its toll on me in like about the first week. And I remember that very evening, like just having a book and writing, like I journaled, I reflected, oh, like Charlie, next time, whatever the time is, I should just go and force. And I even remember the next day we're leaving to our homes for the Christmas break, and people were telling me, Charlie, SRC. I was like, no, because I don't know. I just, when I first started, funny enough, I didn't like the SRC at all. Not like the people, but the idea of SRC, like campaigning, investing so much time.
Why did you like it?
I don't know. It just wasn't for me, because I think parts that it played was like how heavily invested I wanted comportment. So it was like everything was just blurry in hindsight. So I just wanted comportment. And once I didn't get that, I still had the experience. I remember just at some small get together. I came, people were asking me.
That's
SRC,
what I remember. That's what I remember. Because I remember that we were putting pressure on you.
Bro,
yo, SRC.
Like, Charlie, some serious pressure. But fast forward to January, and Tristan, me, Daryl. Yeah, Daryl is one of our friends. Richmond, and I think and Jaden as well. We're just in a palavat, just having a conversation, and Charlie boys are like, "Kelden, run for SRC, come run for SRC." And I was like, "Charlie, I know they won't run." And it's not just run for SRC. They were telling me to run. No. It was president. Like Charlie, big shoes to fill. And the funny thing is, in our school too, like the girls have really got it in terms of like leadership and stuff. So even for 2 years running, there was
It was a girl.
a female SRC president and also a all SRC female body. So I mean, the girls the first.
Yeah, and also in our schools, the girls are more than the boys.
Yeah, so
So
yeah, so my mind wasn't really there. And Daryl, I remember Daryl vividly telling me, and you guys also supported him, and you guys were like, Charlie, I should run. So when you guys told me that, Charlie, I just prayed. So it was January, and you have to declare whether you want to run. I think early February. So I mean, I had 1 month to think. So my friends were just telling me all of this, and I was like, sure. So the first thing I did was like I prayed about it. I prayed to God that if you want me to run, like help me to run. And I also asked my parents for their support and like or their opinion on it. Or like, oh, they feel like I should do it. And the thing was like, even so, fast forward 1 month later, I decided to run. And like after seeking clarity from God and also my friends and Charlie, hey. There's a difference between running and actually running, like Charlie.
yeah.
So even though I wanted to run, like it was just in my mind, but things in place like campaign emails,
yeah.
posters, and campaign emails in our school is big. Like that's how you communicate with the students' body and stuff. So, bro, I had none of that planned, and I remember having the first meeting with the patron to discuss how we campaign. Bro, people are literally talking about emails they've prepared, and here I am.
Nothing.
Not a single thing. And I remember DP1 to Charlie, second semester, bro, was getting tougher and tougher.
Yeah,
tougher
and that's when it was the heat was coming.
Long story short, like it actually affected my academics a bit at the end. It's not because SRC will definitely hit you, but I felt like at that time too, I didn't have my time management like on cue. So I mean, yeah.
Do you know I want to talk about that campaign because in my opinion, that was the best campaign I have seen to date. That was the most iconic campaign. Everywhere you go, someone is shouting KLP vibes, KLP, KLP, KLP. Yeah. Everybody's doing their sign. Everybody's doing this. The what's it called? How do you do it again?
Yeah, it's KP.
Yeah. Everybody was doing that. Like, where did the idea come from for that?
Yeah. So, continue from what I said before I come to what you're asking me. Yeah. So, I mean, even the first day they were unveiling us as candidates, like, bro, just seeing the competition, like, wow, people had gone for professional photographers and stuff like.
Hey, are you serious?
Yeah, like Charlie, and like people were forced, and I think at that point it was kind of a wake up call, like Charlie, Kelden, wake up, like, do you really want this? There's a difference between saying, oh, you're interested in something and wanting it, and like, and when you want it, Charlie, you have to go all out, and even when you want it. The journey is a rocky part too. So I remember when I even started campaigning, bro. First 1 or 2 days, campaigning wasn't really sourcing, and the thing was I wasn't really, cause like I'm more to myself. I'm not really an extrovert like that. Like I wasn't really talking to people. I wasn't really engaging with them. My emails went of the highest quality, and some friends, I remember specifically, Nana Kwesi and Phoebe and Daryl. They're like, oh, I should do XYZ. I should do XYZ. So when I did that, and I mean, I was praying at the time, bro. I remember just going to NK's room where in Sasandra. Sasandra is a hostel in our school, yeah. And I went and I was asking Obed to just try and, cause I was trying to come up with like a logo for my campaign. Charlie, no ideas were coming. And funny enough, Nana Kwesi was just there. He was like, Charlie, just do KLP vibes. Like
for real?
Yeah, that's how they name
it. So it's Enki.
It's Enki. I don't think anybody knows this.
Enki. So you are Enki? You are the founder of KLP Vibes.
Yeah, he was the founder, and I remember Jassy was there. Cause at first I wanted to do K for P.
Yeah.
Even though that was one of my hashtags later, like I mean that's what the former president did, and she won. Cause at that point, Charlie, the creativity wasn't coming, and Enki came. That it was a banger, and I remember, bro. And see, that's another thing about SRT, like. You have to do it and feel again. And through your feeling, you learn. Because me personally, I'm someone, and SRC requires a lot of posters, videos, and things. Bro, Premiere Pro, I don't know. The only time I did Premiere Pro was for my personal projects, but like it was only for that time. And Photoshop, I don't know, none of that. So SRC forced me to learn that, and it got me into this kind of creative flow I didn't even know I had. I mean, even the Twitter billboards, using that inspiration, going on online YouTube, watching videos on Photoshop, how to edit this, and I did my hashtag on it with different billboards, bro.
Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah,
That was hard. I seen it today. I was like, nah, this
Charlie.
guy's ideas are
So
original.
that was the first
Yeah.
proper email I sent with the ideas, and it was just crazy. And funny enough, and another thing people don't know, all my ideas, every single one of them, it was that day I thought of it. There was never a time that I said this week I'm coming for 5 ideas. And when I thought of the ideas, I'll probably go and see, maybe we have a facilities manager, Miss Gloria, that you have to see for the ideas to make sure they are feasible. I'll just probably go and see it. And it's not like I'm having a meeting with her, Miss Gloria, 1 2 1 2, then
Just give you the green light.
it was crazy. Every single design, every single idea, the billboard thing, Charlie, on that day. Or if not on that day, late in the night.
And so it's like day by day plan. So like
Day by day, Charlie. It wasn't like I'm like, this week I'm coming to send this many emails. So it's just like I was learning on the job. And yeah, and by God's grace, we got to where we were. So,
because I mean, like the way that
Bro.
it just everybody was just like, whoa. Because when the thing started, there was another candidate that was, I heard that was a favorite. And
yeah,
I mean,
shouts out. Yeah, I'll just give a shout out to her now because it's inevitable. Shout out to NYS Nanaya, bro. Yeah, it was crazy. And she, I think, yeah. Speaking of like her, and also the other factors I was talking about, like a wake up call. Like she really motivated me into even coming up with things in my bag. I don't know, like even edits. I mean, at a point I was doing edits with churches, edits with planes, even the KP sign. I remember just searching on the internet, sign language sign for K and sign language sign for P, and that's how I came up with the K.
That's it.
That's how. So I mean, it was funny, bro. So yeah, she just pushed me to do my best, and luckily God was on my side. And Charlie,
iron sharpens iron.
bro.
That's it.
And it was just like, even I remember the time they announced SRC, like just quick fast forward. I didn't even feel like I'd won SRC. Like it really took me like another week or two, even to just go and look back at those emails. And I remember vividly my last the video for campaign night, bro. Charlie, when I see bro, hey, Tristan, like bro, like that video, I had to go deep into my back for that. Like something I didn't even have. And let me tell you, for the people who still don't know, like my manifestos, my speeches. I remember debate night, manifesto speeches. Manifesto, do you know when I did the speech? Manifesto was 7. I did a speech at 4. 4.
Legend.
Hey. And Charlie, I remember it was, so I quickly got to the hostel. I didn't go for dinner. Quickly bath. I had a thing drafted, Charlie, with the help of GPT small, you know, and I just was, and also, because even though GPT will give you the template, you have to add your spice to it small, otherwise it won't sound human. So I know SOS, like we like music and stuff, so I even remember one of the quotes I quoted a song, a lyric from Wizkid's song, like, if everywhere you go there, I go there for you. So yeah, that was one lyric I just added to spice it up. But I was just there for 20 minutes, just repeating the thing. But I got there, everything was nice by God's grace. So
yeah, I remember watching this guy come on the stage. The
was
first
so
thing,
funny.
they like, let me tell you, like there was a difference in noise, the noise level when this guy came onto the stage and started giving his manifesto. The different puns that he was giving, the difference. You know what I remember? You see, at the end when you finished, you're like, remember, it's Kelvin. And then you went there. And then
it was very funny. Another thing too was, I remember actually, look, so as I said before, there's a difference between when you want something and Charlie, you need something. Like, it's Charlie, I don't know, I felt like I just had a mindset switch. Like, I don't even, and I think all of this is God, because at a point, SOS, you have God being so great, we have like 5 meal times: breakfast, snack, lunch, dinner, and nightcap bar. So those 4 times, every single time, I won't even be sitting at my table. I'll go to other people's table. People I don't even know, people I don't talk to. And the thing, like, even what I said before, like MIP5, I think God was preparing me for like even SRC without me knowing, because like when I just see random people, I'm like, hi, hello, Like even people I don't know or people I don't talk to. Like I mean, not even like you. It's not like I hate you, but like I'll just say hi because I feel like it's the right thing to do. So when I was doing that, when I was even campaigning to those people, they were like, "Oh, this guy said hi the last time. Let me hear what he has to say." Because sometimes when maybe people are campaigning, it's like, this person you haven't even talked to me before. You even come and have a general conversation with me. So even on my campaigns, the strategy I used was, I'll just be like, "Oh, hello, do you want to hear my ideas?" Just kind of give that small feeling and vibe to it before giving my ideas. And I remember at a point, even after dinner, I won't talk to anybody. I'll just go straight to the boys' hostel, room after room, because the MIPs are preparing for prep. Room after room, room after room, room after room. Even people in my class, juniors, seniors, I'll be like, put for KLP vibes, and I'll tell them the plan their course. Not everybody's going to look at the emails. Not everybody's going to do this. But when you, like, I even heard a coach the other day. This just to be great, or like to do something, you have to do the unusual. Like it's a simple quote. Like
okay,
you can't do the usual and expect the unusual. Like, or even if you want to be extraordinary, you have to do the ordinary extra. Yeah, that's a small bar for you, but you can't just be doing. You really have to redefine everything in terms of expectations, and even do things that you're doing. Like, Charlie, is it me and I'm doing this? Because, bro, if you had to tell me MIP5, I'll be walking up to seniors, walking up to juniors I don't even really talk to, and I'm like campaigning sharp ideas. And the thing is that one thing I luckily did, and God helped me with, was when I was campaigning to individual people, I just had an idea for what idea those people would enjoy. So, for example, if I know, Tristan, you play basketball, I'll come and tell you about a printer. I'll come and tell you about basketball benches, because I know that's the niche I'm going for. Charlie.
So you tailor, like, so you have your ideas with you.
Yeah, with me.
But
and
what
I
you
tailored,
tell them.
yeah.
Okay.
And God being so great, like I remembered the ideas
on the spot.
Yeah,
and you
on
could
the
tell them.
spot, and I could tell
Do you know what strikes me about this?
What?
It's the fact that you were consistent
Yeah.
in going to people's rooms.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that it wasn't just one day or one week.
It was
continuous.
every day after dinner. That's what I was
Continuous.
doing. Every day after dinner.
And I know at some point it was tiring, and you wanted to stop, and you lost vim at some point in time. You're just like, I'm tired.
And like we are saying, to do the unusual, Charlie, you won't be understood though. Like, I'm not even saying like, oh, people will be like, this guy was you yourself, Charlie, you don't understand what you're doing. Because let me tell you, like, sometimes God wants to take us to places, and you yourself, when like God tells you this, there'll be no way you as a person, you're 100% ready for that. Sometimes even 5%, Charlie, 5%. But somehow God, through His perfect time and through His process, will make you get to that place. And when you get to that place, you even believe it. Even right now, when I'm speaking about it, when I'm bringing some of these memories, I'm laughing. But Charlie,
it's serious.
It's serious.
It's very serious. It's very, very serious. That's actually another thing.
It's a grace of God.
It's actually very, very true. It's actually about being understood.
Yeah.
You see, this is actually one of the things that are even inside the book.
Yeah.
Inside Elevate. By the way, my new book is out. Elevate. This book is, bro. It's really like encapsulates the lessons that we are talking about right now. And I really do wholeheartedly believe that if you read this book, you will enjoy it and it will help you. So, one of the lessons that actually go about inside this book, I think it's in either it's in the last chapter or it's the third chapter about environment. I think it's rather in the last one about leadership, unleash your leadership potential. When I was talking about doing these things consistently, because one of the things you see when I was talking about going to the dining hall early and how that was our lifestyle, and MIP5 we'll go.
Even just to quickly interrupt you, even being understood. People will be like, this guy Charlie is John. What's he doing? Like, you hear that, and sometimes you even doubt to keep it, and you'll be like, hey Charlie, what am I really doing? Am I Charlie?
Yeah. So that exactly. So how it happened was that I don't know. I go into detail about the story in the book, but initially, what gave me that idea, what inspired me to do that, was my brother. The year before, he was the comportment monitor, and when he was the comportment monitor, I asked him how he got it, and he told me plain and simple, it's consistently doing the things that set you apart. And that's plain and simple. So that break, I decided, it was December, because he got it in December.
Mm-hmm.
And so during that break, going into the next year, when we were going to NYP5 the next year, I decided that I want to do something that's unusual, and I want to do it consistently, so that I myself become above the rest, and I myself elevate above the rest. So I was thinking about what it is exactly that could get me to that point. And I remember just like one of the challenges I've always had was coming early. At NYP4 and NYP5, you see me running to the dining hall, like, you said it starts at 6:30. You see me going running 6:31, 32, and I'll have excuses upon excuses. The excuses that will be recycling every day. Either my stomach was hitting me, my shoe, I couldn't find my shoe.
The shower,
the shower wasn't working. I'm sick. You have different excuses. And like, I just realized that, okay, you know what? Let me try this and see. And so, I mean, at first I started going, and I realized that, oh, I actually like this. And I was like, okay, no, let my boys also be coming. Let them also be coming. And so slowly, people started coming. But during that time, when I first started doing it, and it was like, it wasn't like expected, and it wasn't the norm
at all.
Whenever
you see someone in the do at 5:30.
Do you know, like, whenever on my
the
way,
people in the kitchen cry, they haven't.
They are now. No, do you know? I would enter, and then they are also now coming to set up and things.
Charlie.
So like, it became like a day. Like, they'll just see me. I'm sitting at the back of the dining hall. But even on my way to the dining hall, bro, people are like, you don't have a life. Why you not sleep? Why you don't have school? Are you serious in life? I'm like, hey, I'm just going to the dining hall. I'm like, yo, that's actually crazy. Do you know the comments that, like, I'd even get to school and somebody would tell me that they saw me from their room as they were now waking up in the dining hall. I was like, okay. And at some point in time, the comments that they were telling me was like, it was discouraging me. I was just like, I don't know, maybe am I doing the wrong thing? Like, is this something that I'm actually like doing proper? But then I realized that actually, if you're doing something that's extraordinary,
like I said, you have to do the unusual. And I mean, me and Tristan, Charlie, it may seem like it's, but we are not perfect at all. Like, Charlie, we are just random people that, by the grace of God, we have been places by God's grace. But just trust me, whatever is on your mind that you want to really do, or like you want to go out for it, Charlie. Number one, just start with God. Number two, do the unusual to expect the unusual, Charlie.
It's about doing the unusual acts of greatness consistently. Because I mean,
and it's never easy.
It's not. It's not. And do you know something? This is what I'm actually thinking about. I highlighted it inside the book, and I call this what's it called again? Let me see if I can remember the term. The reflection, or is it something? I think it's either mirror of truth or like reflection mirror or something along those lines. It's basically a term that I use to describe what happens when people, like, why people talk negatively. And this, before I even explain what that means, another quote that I heard a long time ago, it was that it's practically impossible to hate from above. It always comes from a place of below. And it's like, basically what I highlight in the book, where I highlight that term as, is basically when your acts of greatness are so great that it sheds light on other people's shortcomings. And when that happens, it creates a sort of reflection on themselves. And so it's like, I am not where I'm supposed to be. And I'm not doing what he is doing. I'm not doing what I should be doing. Exactly. And that feeling is like, it's not a good feeling. And so in order to not necessarily pull themselves up, but rather pull the person down, they will say something to discourage them. And if they can discourage them, then they feel better about themselves. So it's not like it's a personal thing. And
it's a way of expressing that,
that's how it is. And so I highlight that, and then once you understand that, to anybody that's watching and you want to do something great, just know that you can do it. And that God is your helper. God is going to help you to do it. Commit it into him, into his hands, and let him guide you, let him help you. And these challenges, all they do is just form you, make you stronger. Because I mean, it's
funny enough, I think recently I heard like a quote or like an anecdote or whatever it is. And it was about how it was in the Bible. I don't specifically remember the verse, but it was about how God is like someone at an, like, who refines silver.
Okay.
And basically the story is about how, like, God is like the refiner or whatever it is, and we are the silver.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the stories, and it's in the Bible that's like, I don't remember where it's from, but yeah, someone who refines silver, number one, they have to put it in the fire, they have to put it in the flame, and they have to take it from its raw state. Yeah, they have to take it from its raw state to like a state that is polished. And when they asked they asked, I think so it was in the Bible, or like the anecdote was in the Bible. I think someone in real life asked someone who refines silver, and they said, "When will you know the silver is ready?" And they said, "It's when I can see my image in it." So it just hits me that Charlie, everything or anything we are going through, is just to make us become more like God. Yes,
It's the fire.
it's the fire. And let's not forget, I think as Christians, sometimes you have this view that life is supposed to be perfect. Charlie, life is never perfect. If you remember Jesus on the cross, like all that he had to go through, even before he was on the cross, Jesus wasn't some guy living in some mansion, Charlie.
It was a struggle.
It was a struggle. I mean, that's why I think Christianity is like living like Jesus. So if we are supposed to live like Jesus, we have to go through some struggle. We have to go through some things.
It's necessary.
It's necessary.
It's necessary to do it.
It's the hard truth, but I think when you take it from that viewpoint, that it's only helping me become more like Jesus, or helping me become more like Christ. Yeah, I think that's a better viewpoint to take it as.
Okay, I want to segue to a new topic, not really a new topic, but a new part of the conversation. Speaking about struggles, what were some of your biggest struggles as being the president of SOS?
You put me on the spot, being the SRT president of SOS. I'll say it's not a struggle really, but I'll say, I mean, people always being like, Charlie, you guys are lying. I mean, in every SRC person, it always counts for them. Whether you're doing something for the school, whether you're not doing something for the school, it's like you're not doing anything for the school. And it's like, Charlie, if you only know what's going on behind the scenes, like how we're trying to help you. And I think some people, they joke with this, some others too, Charlie.
Yeah, seriously asking you.
Yeah, seriously asking you like what's going on. And I mean, it's just like motivation to go out. Because I mean, I remember sometime we had a meeting with the principal of the school, and this meeting was scheduled for 3. And mind you, were in DP2. Well, it's not like we're in DP1 or something. We're in DP2. Is going on, a whole lot's going on. Things that, Charlie, I'm not already seeing top, or like I'm not even managing the best.
I want to pause for just those who don't know. DP2 is like final year of high school.
Final year of high school. Yeah. So much academic pressure, responsibility. Our parents are making these sacrifices. I mean, we're also trying to do our best to live up to the expectation. It's like the meeting is at 3:30. Tristan, let me tell you, the meeting started at 5. So that 1 hour 30 minutes, we were just in the room, one of the classrooms, just waiting for them. I mean, they also feel like but we are busy, so Charlie, whatever you have to. And it was us that called for the meeting as well. Like our proposals to them. Number 1, that puts you off. Number 2, you're tired. You've been awake since 4 5 a.m. It's been 12 hours in the day. You're tired. But you have to quickly get in that zone. Because I mean, that meeting was about our idea proposals, which we actually sent to them over the summer before we got to DP2, when we were elected into office. And it was just like ideas we brought for the school. And Charlie, the meeting was just fire. Because these people, they're also trying to, I mean, students think one way and adults think one way. So it's like you just have to try and force so much. And I remember coming for dinner, like they even had to drive us because everybody had gone from school. We came back to the hostels around 6:30. And like, Charlie, there's still work for you to be doing and stuff.
That's 30 minutes after dinner started, which means that the food in the dining hall is
basically gone.
You didn't have food. But that conversation, I imagine it was a very hard conversation. It was fire back and forth. I bring you aside. What was the key to coming to an understanding?
I think the key was to show the school that, because I mean, living with adults in a community, they definitely have their own mindset, and students and adults, they clash like this. So I mean, students want to enjoy themselves every day. Teachers want something else for students. So I mean, the main thing was just trying and be in their shoes and understand their perspective. Let's say, Tristan, there's an idea for basketball benches. If I'm going to the SLT, I'm not going to say, oh, we're going to play basketball 24/7. Charlie, we don't have anywhere to sit. You have to be in their shoes. Number one, how is this an investment for the school? Number two, how would this help the image of the school? And you have to sit in it. So I even remember one of the ideas, I think along the lines of, I don't really recall, even the track. I remember that meeting was around August and the track hadn't been done. And we're like, oh, what was going on? And they're like, oh, they have this. And we're like, just going back and forth. So it's just understanding and being in their shoes. And when you're being in their shoes too, the other thing is trying to find a balance and still being like, oh, yes, we are students. Because if you just also think the route of what does the school want, you're also not giving the students what they want. So yeah.
So it's having the voice at the same time to also be understanding of them.
Yeah.
That back and forth. You've had some wins, you've had some losses.
Losses, Charlie, plenty.
Plenty, yeah. Do the losses offset the wins?
I think it's part of it. Like, I feel like what I was saying before, Charlie, people think life is all wins and stuff, but Charlie, like I even said, I mean, if you're a Christian, like, just back to the conversation again, like, Jesus definitely had his losses. So if Jesus is having losses, someone who is even supposed to be like the perfect person, then Charlie, we are supposed to expect it to trust him. But I mean, we live in a world today where it's like social media and stuff. They are so, and I'll say not a victim, but like I've experienced that's like Charlie. Because once, the thing about social media is to, like, once you're aware of something, like aware of maybe this person getting up at 5 a.m. every day, doing this, running a business at 16, Charlie, once you're aware of it, it's never leaving your head again. Like, I mean, gone are the days where maybe you're at 16, maybe your parents' time or something. Like, you're moving at your own pace. But Charlie, now you're moving at the pace of the old. Some American guy, 16, making $1 million. He has lunchtime at B, Charlie. And yeah. Watching. So
watching him do it.
So, I mean, and the thing is that, Charlie, we are not perfect. So, losses are part of winning. I even remember, just as a quote, some Chrissy Ataba, I turn my L's into W's, turn my W's to M's. Like, I turn my L's into W's. This L, this W. I turn my L's into W's, W's to M's, M's millions. Charlie, that's the part. That's the part. So it's part of it. It's part. So I think, Charlie, we just have to accept that and know that if I'm losing, Charlie, I'm normal.
It's part of the lesson. It's part of the curve. It's necessary for the success. I mean, it's facts.
And I think even getting that mindset of being like, Charlie, losses are part of it. It takes time. It takes time. It takes time. Even though the athletes we watch today, Charlie, that's what I'm saying. Like, social media, you just see some guy, for those of you who watch basketball, making some 3-pointer or something, 2 seconds down the clock, he wins the game or something. You know the amount of shots he even missed before he made that 3-pointer. Yeah. The times he was waking up at 4 a.m. you don't remember that, but it's just like, oh, this one moment. And the thing is that the world is wicked. Like, the moment you don't live up to that expectation, like losing, that's what I'm saying. Losing is not normalized. It's like every day. Hey, Charlie, every day, if you're not going 120%, Charlie, it's like you're losing. Which I feel like is very unfair. And I think we have to probably get to a point where we normalize losing. Not losing as something that is
behavior, or like
something that we should tolerate. Because, Charlie, what's winning without losing?
Yeah.
Like, Tristan, let me ask you, if you didn't probably maybe have experiences where you had to challenge your mindset and stuff, how winning be sweet? If every day, let's say winning,
it's normalized.
Yeah, it's like,
so it's not anything again. But if you lose, you know how much it costs.
The sweetness of winning alone.
Let me give you an example. Another one, guys. I promise you, like, I'm not just doing this to market my book. It's just like these are my stories, okay? But inside the book, I go into the story of swimming competition. Now you were in my hostel. He was a Spartan. We're both Spartans. And you know how I was when it came to swimming competition. From MYP5, it was silver. DP1, it was silver. And to me, silver is a loss. If it's not gold, I'm losing. And
I mean, there's a guy that, Charlie, summer, I remember DP1. Was it DP1 summer or something?
It was it
Yeah.
was DP1 going to DP2.
Yeah,
summer.
DP1 going to DP2 summer. So last year, but only moving to final year. Yeah, I'm probably waking up around maybe okay, cause I had SET classes. I'm waking up around maybe 6, 7. This guy, I wake up. Tracy and Sanchez snap 40, 50 minutes ago. The guy is in a car going to Belmark. I'm going to swim for how many laps? And it's just like Charlie. Yeah, so this guy I could see like he was very dedicated
It'd be
to
work.
swimming. Yeah.
It'd be work. It's because of the loss. If I didn't lose, I wouldn't have that vim to go and do
Yeah.
it. Me, that's how it is. It's like I'm a very competitive person, and if I lose, like I want to win, especially if it's something that's important to me. I want to win, and I want to win to the point where I'm willing to put myself through that discomfort of waking up in the morning and having to go and get blasted by Coach Kakra. That's I should be going laps. You know, as you can see that I'm breathing heavy. Like I literally can't breathe. Go again.
See, that's the thing about life. Even let's say you doing all that work, winning is not guaranteed.
Exactly.
That's like,
exactly. Winning is not guaranteed. Me, let me tell you, on that day, like people don't know that the last swimming competition, the whole story is in the book. If you want to know the whole story, please, you know,
Charlie,
the book day.
Shameless plug.
Nah, this is because it's true, bro. The book is here. Like these are all the things I said in the book. But on the day, I was so close to actually not even swimming on that day. So I could have said that all of that would have been for nothing. Yeah. And do you know what's so funny? I had that same mentality the year before that when I got silver. That's like I had done all this work.
Yeah, for nothing.
Yeah, because literally what happened, the reason why I wasn't able to swim as much as I wanted to swim was because I had my sinuses were inflamed. And so every time I dive into the water, I'd get nosebleeds. And so that stopped me from being able to practice and swim. So I stopped practicing for like 2 weeks leading up to the competition. So I was already out of touch with the pool. Yeah. And when I tell you that when I was training, I was like, it was coming. Snapping, and it was like I was bullying this. I was like, nah, this is my year. This is my year. And just came out of nowhere. And it's just like, nah. And that day, like, when I tell you that pain is still like, I can still feel that pain in me. It's like I touched the wall. When I touched the wall, I thought I had finally done it. And I look up and I'm like, nah. He just, because when I tell you that, I could see that I was ahead at some point in time. So I was like, I was ahead though. But he just beat me. And then when I watched the video back, I vexed even more. I was like, it was this close. And I know for a fact, if I trained for those 2 weeks, it wouldn't have been that close. Yeah. And I know by God's grace, I would have won that one. But as you see, it's all parts because that pain is always inside me when I would wake up in the mornings. And I would like, but you know what's funny? Sometimes we forget the pain, because sometimes the present pain is more painful than the past pain. It's like waking up in the morning, I'm like, I don't want to get up and go. Yeah. I have to like remind myself
of the pain
that pain that I felt.
And I think, I mean, you hear this all the time. It's either the pain of discipline or the pain of regret.
Literally.
Charlie. Yeah, I think it even says it in the Bible, if I'm correct. Charlie, you don't go and check back. If I'm correct, I think Hebrews chapter 12, I think the later verses, they talk about like discipline and how after discipline, even the Bible is saying it. And I mean, the Bible is like God's word, so it's basically God speaking. And even God is saying discipline, when you're going through it, it's never enjoyable, but there comes a peaceful, and I think that's the key word that links it to scripture, a peaceful harvest after you do that. So shall I be one of the two? Enjoy even that song, laugh now, cry later.
Yeah, just bring it.
You either go laugh now, laugh now in your bed 5 p.m. Charlie, enjoying your sleep.
Let me sleep.
Cry later when you rise the exam or something. So Charlie, you just will choose.
Yeah, it's about the work.
You have to choose.
It's about the work. And as you continue, you say, even when I said I'm going to go and swim in the morning, with that also came comments about, you know your life. Like you are too irate. Can you relax? What's this? It's all parts of like that process. Being great. Like being great, what it does is it shines the lights. And that's what I keep saying again, something that's inside the book. It shines a light on the shortcomings of other people. Yeah. And to the person who is not necessarily equipped to understand that pain and process that pain, you would see it as a negative and you try to pull the person down. You see, there's a saying, actually, this is to if you ever feel that way, because me, I know I feel that way sometimes.
Yeah.
There's sometimes where like I can see somebody's ball and I'm just like,
Charlie.
some part
what
of
am
me,
I-
some part of me, I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
stop. I see somebody getting something that I feel like I deserve. There's a saying that comes with this. I heard it from Steve Harvey, and like it has
Yeah.
stuck with me for like
A long
since.
time,
It is, if God blesses your neighbor
yeah. Mm-hmm.
and not you, don't be angry because God didn't bless you.
Yeah.
Be happy because God is in the neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
which means that your blessing is coming.
It's coming, yeah.
His own has come.
Yeah.
Your own is also going to
Yeah.
come. That alone is just like, okay,
Charlie.
it's not my time.
Yeah, it's not your time.
It's not my time. It's not my time.
And I think even just having this conversation, if you actually look at it, champions are the biggest losers. All
You
the
think?
champions. Interesting. Champions
Yeah.
are the biggest losers. Even me being an avid basketball fan, go and follow me on Twitter. I post.
That'd be the shameless part.
Yeah, that'll be the shameless back. Yeah, but I mean Twitter. I'm not even active, but I mean I used to be so invested in basketball. I think 2020 when COVID was there, and I just that's when I started watching basketball. 2019. So 2020 was just my chance to experience the sport, to know the history, everything. And when I actually watched the thing and everything, like I got familiar. Charlie Michael Jordan. If I'm correct, I think about Charlie. Don't go and check again, but I think about he came in the league 84. He won the finals 91. In those years, not going to the finals. Charlie, what do you think he was doing? Losing. I think he lost about 6 playoff series. Even his biggest win in terms of scoring, 69 against the Celtics. Guess what he did in that game? He lost. In the playoffs, he dropped 69 and lost. But out of that loss now, when we talk about scorers, Michael Jordan 69. I even saw some, these crazy statistics. That's the best game in NBA history in terms of like his points. Like there's this statistic they call game score, Charlie. If you don't watch basketball, Charlie, sorry for you, but it's the best game in NBA history in terms of statistically, like his points, his shooting, the types of shots he took, and it came from a loss. When Michael Jordan hadn't even sniffed the title, that's when one of his best games came. So it's like, Charlie, champions are the biggest losers.
Me, I think me
They're
personally,
the biggest losers.
just to
the biggest
personalize-
losers in terms of Charlie, the sheer sacrifice it
What
takes.
about losers?
Losers,
Like perpetual losers.
perpetual, like
Like
Charlie,
these-
bring down the
there are
English
there are
form,
some
bring down the
there are
English
some people who in the league.
Yeah.
We are using NBA as an example right
Yeah.
now. There's some people in the league. They've spent years in the league
Yeah.
and they've not won a championship.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like those people are losing more than the people who have won the championship.
No.
Because someone look at somebody, compare
See,
Michael Jordan
That's and Michael Jordan.
to somebody like maybe Karl Malone or CP3,
Come on. Yeah. Charlie.
Chris Paul, losing.
Yeah, losing. See, that's the thing. Life isn't fair. See, hey,
Like-
because Charlie, CP3, Karl Malone, like champions who never tasted the ring. CP3, Karl Malone, Clyde Drexler, Charlie, ballers, sheer ballers. That just shows you, Charlie, to win, what it takes to win. It's not just about you, it's about the people around you, number one. In fact, forget that's number one. Number one is about God. Number two is about the people around you. Number three is the choices you make. Charlie. So even, that's why we are saying winning takes so much. Because even when you deserve to win, that's at times you don't even win. So sometimes you even deserve to lose, and sometimes you win by what's like Messi and like things just going your way.
grace,
So
it's God's grace.
God's
Charlie.
grace. So like, Charlie. Also, so it just shows you how like winning, bro. Because you can even be the perfect player chasing if you don't have the right people around you. You can drop 70 every game, you lose.
You lose. You can be the best player on
You
the
can be
West
the
team.
best player. And it's not even about how good the players are, their mentality around you.
Yeah.
If you
It's the
even
environment.
just watching these basketball podcasts these days, like Paul George, Podcast P and stuff, like you just get insight into how much these guys are dedicated to their craft and how some people
Yeah.
just take it for granted.
Yeah.
And more often than not, with God's grace and everything, more often than not, the people who are just taking it for granted, Charlie, they are the bottom, but the
Yeah.
people who are pushing.
Then
At
they
the
get
top.
there.
And even that one, what's your definition of losing? Because I remember Carmelo Anthony, when he was like retiring, he was like, he has won a championship because where he came from, Charlie. Where
that's
he
what it
came
is.
from.
I feel like,
Where
you
he
know
came
something? I think I want to try and describe it. I want to try and explain this and paint a picture in a certain way. You can lose, but there's a difference between losing and being a loser.
Yeah, losing is natural.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to say that there's a difference between taking a loss and being a loser.
I think before you say what you want to say, taking a loss is natural. Being a loser is accepting that loss and basically quitting.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. It's like you accepting that as a part of you, and you not trying to do something about it.
Basically lowering your standard to that loss.
Exactly. So just so that you know, just because you may have lost does not mean that you are a loser.
Yeah, loser actually.
Because
never.
Everybody who's on top has once been at the bottom.
Even before I talk, shout outs to Koji Sheldon. It's funny that I'm bringing it here, but Koji Sheldon, he's one of the people I watch the most, and like just seeing the guy's rise. Because I remember in 2019, I found Koji Sheldon in 2019 on Instagram. Charlie. And even he has this show called on his channel called Convo with the Head, and like you hear some of his stories. So like jumping back to 2019, some of the skits Koji Sheldon was posting and things that I even found funny. Charlie, people were saying, "Oh, this guy, he's very unfunny and stuff." Like he was Jerry John and stuff. Like the skits she was making, and Charlie basically them no BG like, or they were nice like for the people who watch. And it was in that birth the Koji Sheldon we know today. Because once you saw that the skits weren't working out, Charlie jumped to long form content, and even see how the guy started. He just went a duku. I think he has a cameraman called Fish or something. He's just recording him on an iPhone. And year by year, you see the progression. Koji Sheldon. Now he has a studio, various segments. He has like some football, like talk show. He has Convo with the Head, and he has just leveraged not only himself but people around him. That's why success is a lot too. See, success is a whole lot. God's grace, God's mercy, luck, hard work. Like, it's just some. And we think of success as this. Actually, zigzag. So just seeing his rise, I think it's also another big testament to that. And all the way going to BBC to have interviews, speaking for Ghanaian content creators and stuff, Charlie.
That's crazy.
So it just shows you, even in your biggest loss, when they were telling you, Charlie, your skates, his biggest win came to the Koji Sheldon you know today.
That's crazy. Yeah, you need Koji Sheldon on the podcast.
Yeah, Charlie, yo. If you get that, I'll even be your cameraman.
You be my cameraman. If you're watching.
Nah. Koji Sheldon, Charlie. I look up to that guy a lot.
For real.
Yeah, I look up
Charlie, Koji Sheldon, please, let's make it happen. Yeah. Kelden say you'll be our cameraman, so you'll be there.
Charlie.
I actually want to talk about gratitude.
Yeah, gratitude.
Because this is something that I remember us actually having this time. There was a time when we were in school and you had come to my room. This was in DP2. And I think it was preparing for SAT. And you're just in my room.
Hey.
And we're just talking for a very long time.
Yeah,
you reached 2 hours. I just talking. And they're not talking about anything else but how far we have come. And what God has done for each of us. And sharing testimonies.
So it's funny because we basically had a podcast before the podcast.
Yeah.
I remember talking about some of the things here.
That was.
Hey, and SAT, that's another thing, bro. Whoa, Charlie, that time was tough.
Tough, yeah, tough.
Hey, bro.
It's all parts.
It just should, and I'm not going to go into it because Charlie, if I go into it, I might even crying out. But the SAT time, I think just another lesson I'll share. Leave everything to God. Leave everything to God. You can be the hardest worker, Charlie, if you don't have God's grace. God's grace is there for everybody. But if you don't position yourself behind that grace,
no.
And how you position yourself is surrendering yourself to God. People ask all the time, how do you surrender? Make God your number one priority in all things you do. In 2 Corinthians 10 verse 31. Am I correct?
Don't quote him.
Hey.
Don't
but if I'm correct, in all things you do, give glory to the God, whether you eat or drink. And I think that was, I don't know, I forgot who the writer of Corinthians is, Charlie. I'm looking bad out here, but yeah. It's just, I think it was a verse talking about how, what do you call it? People in the Bible in those times. It was like a letter to the church of Corinth or something. Like how people in those times they were adopting things like that's what I know of God in like their way of eating. So the person was like, who wrote the letter? Everything you do, give glory to God. Having this conversation, how can we be grateful to God? By bringing God inside, by showing that we love God, that God loves us. But also everything you do, Charlie. When you're saying thank you to the man on the road, it's glory to God. When you're saying hello, it's glory to God by being kind to the person. So everything you do, like give glory to God. So it just shows you, Charlie, gratitude. I mean, it's very important. And I mean that SET time. I'm not going there, but just reflect. I think I tried to control things too much. Number one, when I started SET, I didn't even pray to God about it. I was just like, I'm doing SET. Number two, when I was this thing, SET, I remember this guy. After classes, our classes were both 10 to 3 or something.
Yeah.
And after that, around 5:36, when we get home, he'll be like, "Oh, we should hop on FaceTime, make you destroy the SET, like learn the SET." And yeah, but I wasn't even trusting God. How wasn't I trusting God? Series, movies, like I wasn't even giving God time at all. So I think what God showed me was, Charlie, you go, the knowledge will go do your head inside, but if you don't have my grace, Charlie, I'm shutting that down.
You're not doing
so it's, I mean, it's one of the big lessons I've learned. But very bitter, very bitter lesson.
Bitter.
Hey.
It's all
very
part.
bitter lesson, but Charlie, so part. Yeah.
I just wanted to just touch on it before I move to the last part of this conversation. How important gratitude is, and I just wanted to again just give a little anecdotes to kind of drive home the points that I'm trying to make about gratitude, and especially if you are trying to achieve something that's greater in life. Gratitude is so important because it keeps you grounded and it reminds you of where you've been. Yeah. So in the case of, let's say, God is our father, right? So I'm going to use that relationship, father and son. Not necessarily God and us, but just say your father and then your son. So let's say your father, for example, he buys you a gift, right? Let's say he buys you, let me just give you, let's say if you are trying to buy a new phone, for example, and he buys you some tech.
Why are you using techno?
No. Like, like your mind is on iPhone, but he wants to start you off with like
the techno.
Yes, so you can get the fundamentals. Or he wants to start you with let's say not even the latest model of the iPhone. He wants to start you off with like a let's say the latest models were 15. So he wants to give you like maybe 7 or 8. He gives the phone to you. Yeah. And when you get the phone, you're like, it's like you vex. It's like okay, and you're not too happy about it. Will your father now be motivated to get you the 15? No. The vim is not going to be there. He won't have any energy. He won't feel willing to want to get you.
And I see why you're going to like as being graceful to God.
If now, let's say he was to give you that same phone, the 8 or the 7, and you were so grateful about it, thankful about it, you were happy about it, and you saw that you enjoyed it. In the future, if he's in the market, he said, "Let me buy, let me bless Kelden."
Even if there's 17, I want to get to the 17.
Yes, get to the latest one.
And I really like that anecdote because, Charlie, that's basically how God, even God being so mysterious and powerful that we can comprehend him. Like, that's how it is with God. Because, Charlie, faith is a test too. Tristan, faith is a test. Because, let me tell you, God won't test your faith when, Charlie, everything is
going well.
Charlie, chilling, everything is, that's not when God will test God will test your faith when, like, Charlie, you literally have to put your all in him in the sense that, Charlie, like,
there's no other option.
God pan. That's what you say. God pan. Like, what? Like, I'm not even just speaking from your experience, but like, hearing so many stories and testimonies, it's like you put your all in God to the point that, and God will be like what we were talking before. Yeah, in my image, I'm going to reward you. I even remember there's this guy I listened to. Gospel artist, Dunshino Yekan. I don't know if you've listened to some Charlie, powerful guy. Listening to some of his podcasts, and bro, what the guy even mentions, he says so he lost his wife. Like, unfortunately, his wife died in a car crash, and he said that's when his wife died. That's when God wanted him to, like, was calling him to become like the worshipper he is. Like, I mean, he's one of the biggest worshippers. Has this thing called upper room. He does it in Lagos. He does it in America, all over Africa actually. So that's when God was calling him. And I mean, let's just step back a bit. My wife has just died. You're calling me to become what?
That's
And
serious.
the guy even mentioned something like, the guy, he had rent. Let's say his rent is 1,000.
Mhm.
The guy said his rent was 1,000. And let's say he said he paid half, so 500. The guy said, Charlie, there's more even 400 he had, not even up to 500 to finish paying half.
Mhm.
God said he shouldn't go and pay the rent. He should go and use that rent to go and, like, you know, when they do ministry or like just anything with the instruments, you need sound engineers, you need people who set up the sound, the instruments themselves, transportation, logistics, all that, a whole lot. He said go and use it for that. His rent money, and his rent was due. And the guy, I remember the story, he was like, he couldn't believe it. And that's where his faith came, and his faith actually listened to. And that's the thing with God, with Charlie. He pushes us to our absolute limit to Tristan, because we are humans, who, like me and you, we are humans, and like God, he just rework your whole mind, like how you even think. Because that's the thing about God. God has already won the battle.
Yeah.
He has won the battle.
It's
So
already
whatever
done.
trial and tribulation you are going through, you've won it. But the level you have to even experience before you understand that in reality.
Before you get it.
Hey!
Yeah.
Tristan, like, God, bro, you can say like we literally have a big God behind us. Like, nothing should be worrying us, but God knows like we're not perfect. So he pushes our mind to that. So that's where real faith comes in. So he said when he used the money for that, he was just worrying. He said he just received a call. He said some random person. He said, hello, yeah, my name is Dunshin. How can I help you? He said, hello, yeah, Dunshin. Please, I want to send the money to your account. The guy's like, whoa, I don't know if from any you want to send money to my account. He said, just tell me your account number. The guy received even more than the money for his rent. Like, Charlie, that's
crazy.
God for you.
That's
He works
crazy.
in. His ways are just so mysterious,
That's
Charlie.
crazy.
Like, even trying to understand it here right now.
You don't
You
understand.
understand.
You don't understand.
Tristan, like, you won't understand. Like,
That's
we
crazy.
won't understand. Like,
That's
God
actually
is crazy. So, gratitude, and also knowing that, I mean, it's so tough to even say that God, he has already won. When Jesus died on the cross, God won. I think he even says it in Luke 10 verse 19. He says, like, we have power or authority over all these things. So, like, knowing that and still struggling, grappling with that, and like coming out of it, that's like real faith. And also gratitude, like you said. The guy had gratitude in his current situation, even though he knew, Charlie, I don't even have, where I'm going to sleep, I don't even know if that's even secured. I have children with me, I have stuff with me, and I have to use that money to, Charlie.
That's serious.
It's
man.
serious.
That's
Serious.
serious. Okay, so
Serious.
this is the last one. I think we've been talking for
Hey,
quite a while.
long time.
Yeah, we've been talking for quite a while. When we started, there was no light
And
outside.
the funny thing is, we didn't even plan
this
this.
was
Bro,
very spontaneous.
but I just went to my friend's house. This guy, he didn't even call me. I just said, "Oh, let me come and visit Tristan." Charlie, the
Nah,
guy
yeah.
dragged me to this. Charlie, the moment, the 100 CDs, whatever it is, Charlie,
hey.
or the book commission, forgive you 10%.
Yeah, book commission. Hey. And let's go to the next part. Let's go to the next part. I want to speak about the future of Africa
That's a
terms
good
of
conversation.
in terms of
That's
the potential
potential.
and how we as the
Yeah.
youth can contribute to that potential. And let's focus on Ghana, for example.
Ghana.
I know that right now there are lots of
Bro,
opportunities.
Yeah.
Let's call them opportunities to develop.
yeah.
And I want to get your opinion
Your
on
thoughts
it.
on that.
Yes.
Charlie, before I even speak on this, like, Charlie, Ghana, it's not coming from a place of even hate or something, but it's like more of a wake up call. Even watching Koji Sheldon, like, Koji Sheldon is where I get all my news from. Like, I think it's sad to see, but recently there was a story about like this woman, I think in the Winneba hospital. Like, Winneba is in the central region in Ghana, for the people who don't know. And basically the woman, she had a car accident, but she wasn't the only person. and like she experienced trauma. Old woman, and like the other people who had the accident in the hospital, their parents, like no family members came for them. But the woman, I don't even know whether that was a region or something. But like no one visited it, and like she would shout crazily from time to time. Cause I mean, when you have a car accident, like I'm no doctor, but like you experience trauma. So I think that's what she was experiencing. And these people like decided to go and put her in like some bush.
Eh?
Yes, they actually took an ambulance and they put her in some bush. She can't walk, wheelchair, cast down on her leg. The woman was there for 2 or 3 days, and when people even saw the woman, like they tried to help the woman and stuff, and I think people just recorded just as evidence or something. There were ants on the woman's cast. The woman had no food for 2 or 3 days. The woman died.
Are you serious?
Sad story, sad story. And I think recently news came that they temporarily sacked the medical, not temporarily sacked, like they suspended the medical director. And the sad story, whoever she is, may she rest in perfect peace. But also another story I want to add before I answer your question, because Charlie, the context for even this guy, Dutch passport or PhD, I'm sure if you're in Ghana or you're on Twitter, Charlie, you've heard that thing. Like, there's this man on the internet who has been saying Dutch passport or PhD, and the guy is like, he has a Dutch passport and he's just showing all the amenities with it, and he cleans toilets too in Holland or in the Dutch region or whatever you want to see, and he makes I think 300,000 cedis a year as a toilet cleaner, and he works for I think 3 or 4 hours.
Are you serious?
Yes. And the guy came to say like if he wants to go for a toilet cleaning conference, he could go. But people who are in universities in Ghana with PhDs won't go. Like it be hard true and hard pill to swallow, but the reality of the situation is that's where we kind of are as a country. And the guy even shared a video on socials, I think 2 weeks back or something, where he was in Kolebu. He had I think some disease, I've forgotten. He was literally lying on the floor with the drip, like Kolebu.
That's serious,
Charlie. So I think I'm not saying this to bash Ghana or something, but it's just to give context, Charlie. Where we did as a country, me, you, and anybody watching, Charlie, we have to take this country. Sorry, not just this country, Ghana, this continent where it's supposed to be. And the things there are so many opportunities out there, bro. Even I've said Coach Sheldon like 10 times, but
if you guys Coach Sheldon fan, Charlie, Coach Sheldon, if he gets some small shout out, this is your number one fan.
Yeah. Where the guy even replying me for Twitter before, so
for real?
I screenshot him. I go film him stuff. Yeah, but even someone like him, it takes risks and tapping into spaces we haven't tapped before. Someone like Coach Sheldon, even like I mentioned before, you can only imagine the things he experienced. Even up to now, I think there was a government something about them going to tax content creators, and he came to voice out saying that content creators that are even trying to create their own path in Ghana, they are not even making enough money being in the region we are with camera equipment and stuff he has to take care of, and it's like the tax is going to affect that. It takes someone with a vision and a risk, bro. It takes someone with a vision and a risk. And the sad thing, Ghana, we have so much, not even Ghana. And I think when I say Ghana, just bear with me, like it's basically the whole Africa, because there's so much potential, Tristan.
Yeah, potential is there.
So much.
The
Bro, I think
potential is there.
when I was in church recently, shout out to Power for Shape International. Yeah. But when I was in church recently, the leader of our church, Pastor Daniel Martin, that's the leader of our church. He hosts something called I've forgotten the name, but it's like a business convention. It's the church that backs it too, but it has nothing to do with like religion or anything. He just sees potential in Ghana, and he said it was a call that God gave him to help. Yeah, it's called Young Professionals Business Network. I just remembered. It was a call for him to help people, so you can be Muslim, anything, and you can go there, bro. Some of the ideas, someone has been there for 7 years. No backing, no nothing, no funding. But the guy has managed to turn this plastic cup that I say, into fuel. Not just any fuel that is like of standards, like high standards and very efficient.
In Ghana.
When you hear this story, you're having like, bro, like there's the opportunity, and we're just sitting on it, Tristan. So I think it's up to us as young people, being the young people we are, but anybody else there, Charlie, really just try and like quote unquote elevate yourself. But when you do that, don't forget where you're coming from. Don't forget that, Charlie, there are people we have to help, and it's through helping people that those people also help others, and the cycle continues to go. So I'm just praying. I mean, hopefully in the next 10, 15 years, we see the change that this country deserves. Because Charlie, there's a lot of opportunities in Ghana, real estate, from real estate to so many things. But unfortunately, like corruption and things have slowed it down. But it's up to us to change that narrative.
So you said all of this,
yeah,
and I want to know, what do you think is the solution to the problem?
Charlie, let me go to you. The solution to Ghana's problems, Charlie. If it was like that, like a question and just answer, we won't be here right now. It's like a multiplex problem. A stringent problem. Like, Charlie, the problem is serious. Like, and it's not just about, I mean, you hear people every day about leaders and things. I mean, it's like a layered system, not just leadership, from leadership to even the normal Ghanaian, and even to maybe the systems, especially the systems in the country. Charlie, the systems in the country. Hey, boy. Charlie, we have to do better. I even think I heard a story about the people at Kutuka, the immigration people, like the people who see you before you go off. Like, there's this narrative that's popping up on socials that everywhere they go, every people going and coming out of Ghana, Charlie, they're always begging for money. It's just creating those who, and the thing is that those people begging, I don't even blame them, because, Charlie, how much are you? That's the thing. Like, the system has gotten to a point where like people are not even being paid and stuff. And I mean, God being so great, we are not in that situation, but you can't just sit there and allow that to happen, you know.
So do you know, from what I see?
Just to quickly, the solution, as I'm here, Charlie, no one knows the solution.
Okay, I want to do this. I want to do something.
Like, just to cut you off, it's like, Charlie, let's just try and help ourselves. And when we help ourselves, we help others. And I think that's how we move forward. Because I think that principle not being respected is maybe a reason why I'm here. Okay. Help yourselves and also help others. Love your neighbor as yourself. That commandment in the Bible. God said, after loving him with all your mind, all your strength, and with all your heart, in Matthew, is it? Hey, Charlie, the verses know they come to me, but
don't worry.
Like, he said, the second most important commandment is to love your neighbor as yourself. I think if we're loving our neighbors as ourselves, we won't be facing some of maybe these corruption scandals and things.
Do you know? I think
those. Sorry to interrupt you, Charlie. I just say the problems. So, because there's even something about. I think in the northern region there was, I think, 1.9 million cedis being paid to a ghost school that know they exist too. 1.9 million cedis is being paid to, and people are getting their pockets richer. Whilst, Charlie, look at the problems that they town when it rains, bro.
Yeah,
even public, bro, roads that you even think are the best in Ghana. And look, we're in Accra, we did Accra, bro. Just imagine some other regions.
Yeah,
Charlie.
Do you know? I think it's when you keep mentioning that there are lots of problems, and these are things that you are able to identify. And this is one of the things that I really want you and those who are watching, I want us to understand this and try as much as possible to try and create a new paradigm in our mind. Because, you see, one of the things that human beings we can do easily is think of the negatives, and to be able to think of the problems of why something is not working, why something isn't going, and why something isn't happening. What I'm proposing and what I think can be the problem is not necessarily one solution, like the problem to Ghana is to fix corruption. No, that's not the only problem. But I think if you're looking at the person itself, what you could say is the best way, me personally, my belief is that the solution to the problems that we face in Ghana is a shift in paradigm.
Mindset.
In terms of understanding that, yes, we have problems. Okay. Instead of just thinking about the problems and only the problems, now you bring up the solutions. Now you think about
what's working
solution.
right now.
Not even only what's working right now. Okay, there's a problem. Let's say the problem about the systems in place. Why people begging? Now you bring up that solution in
Of
terms
systems,
of, okay,
yeah.
so now what is the solution from this?
Yeah.
This is the problem. Okay, now what can we do?
Mm-hmm.
If we think that the problem is maybe the human being, what's the solution to that?
Yeah.
Just that little switch,
Switch in mindset, yeah.
that just that little one, it can get people to try and think
Mhm.
about maybe something that they can do.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know that this is something that may have been like thought of on a
Yeah.
larger scale, but I think even bringing it down to the person, because let me tell you right now, never underestimate your power.
Yeah.
Never underestimate your power. You can do a lot, no matter who you are. And so, if you can think about that in terms of there are problems in society, there are problems that face us every single day.
Yeah.
Instead of me only focusing on the problem, I can be aware of the problem,
Yeah.
but let me focus on the solution,
Mhm.
and let me focus on implementing the
Yeah.
solution. I think if we look at that and we're able to adopt that paradigm, that would help us a lot,
Mhm.
and that would get us, especially if we can do it on a larger scale. It starts small and then we build it up. In the future, God willing, bro, we'll be way better off than right now.
Because I think what you even just mentioned, just to throw light, like I think that's one of the reasons that's holding us back. Because in Ghana, like Ghana is like a very politicized system in terms of like maybe a party can implement this school, but maybe it's not completed. A new party comes, because those people did it, we don't go do it. Yeah, so that mindset of like focusing on like the problem, like we are too much focused on our own mindsets that we dwell on the problem too much, the problem of like self-interest. And I think, yeah, like you said, if we are able to shift our mindsets, focus on the positivity, it definitely change. Yeah, because Ghana is a beautiful country, bro.
It's very, very
Like
beautiful.
I was even saying, it's like if I had the opportunity, I'll probably spend all the days of my life here. It's not like I don't want to travel, but Charlie, home is home.
Yeah.
And the home we
Yeah.
have is a very, very beautiful home. Like Ghana is a very beautiful country. People are blessed here. The people are beautiful. The people are intellectual in ways that you even classify like intellectual.
Ghanaian
normally.
ingenuity.
Like so unique, from fashion, from ideas, business, even some of the things I mentioned, like food from plastic, bro. So imagine if that person had resources and stuff like. So it just shows like it's open your eyes more. Say Charlie, before push, because our country is beautiful, and if we help everybody here adds a helping hand to be the beautiful country is supposed to be. Yeah.
For sure. Kelden.
Charlie,
this has been an episode. This has been something.
Crazy things. Talking about what SRT
SRC
to Ghana.
To Ghana. I mean, it's been a conversation.
Charlie, real conversation.
It's been just, I know.
Because the funny thing is that as friends, when we meet up and talk, these are basically some of the things we talk about, like just normal conversation. So I'm happy Tristan has been able to invite me here to like have this conversation.
Yeah. So. Kelden. For those who are looking to get in contact with you, maybe you don't want to continue the conversation or
hey Charlie, this one there's no shameless plug.
Yeah, to Kojo shouting for us to reach out to you.
Yeah, my Instagram is Kelden_6.
Kelden_6.
So if you want to text me there, sure, you can text me. Yeah,
for sure. Well,
but it's been a nice conversation.
It's been a very nice conversation. Kelden, thank you very much for coming on today.
I hope to come the next time.
Oh, that one,
but that one compensation has to be.
Don't worry. Yeah. If you have any questions for Kelden that you want him to answer, maybe we will do another episode, God willing. Please put them in the comments below. If you have anything you want to know, any ideas, any topics you want to have us talk about on the show, just let us know. Let's feel free. And then
remember to like and subscribe so that we know, Charlie.
Yeah,
the content you guys want. Your feedback is very important. So support my brother here. Like he's doing something very amazing. I mean, look at the 18 years old striving for the best. I mean, and you always have obstacles in a way, like people commenting and stuff. But Charlie, keep on doing what you're doing. And continue.
God, he's all good.
It's all good.
Be good. Please, the new book, Elevate. It's also out on Amazon.com, or if you're in Ghana and you want the book as well, go to booknook.com. It's available there. Very nice, very cool. Please let me know what you think about the book. Text me. Yeah, bro. And I mean, you want to follow the boy. My socials are also going to be somewhere on the screen. And yeah, man, please subscribe, like, comments. Without further ado, I believe in you. We believe in you. Go and make the world a better place. Don't just live life, but thrive. I'm your Sunny.
Which I. Yeah, bro, but I keep on so far. I don't feel like.